Hey people, this is a short video, very brief. I'm going to talk to you about the static, electric static from hands that you can discharge onto sensitive electronic equipment such as these and hard drives and so on and so forth. I personally had an experience which I'm going to share with you. Going back about a couple of months, I drove my car, came back home. There was a hard drive that was running for diagnostic or data recovery, I believe it was. No, it was a data recovery. So during the process of recovery, I came and I accidentally sort of touched the hard drive. And by doing so, I felt a static discharge that went onto the hard drive. I immediately noticed that the hard drive sort of wind down as it was getting switched off or power off, sort of a thing. And in all honesty, that was the end of that drive. I just literally destroyed that drive. So my point is that when you come from outside, and particularly being in a vehicle, ground yourself regardless before you touch any electronic equipment, in the sense of, repairing this or hard drives and so on and so forth, because the chances are very high, and you could possibly destroy that particular equipment that you're handling. That's not to say that I can't touch this, because I'll just, no, you're not. I'm not being ludicrous here, but not these sort of equipments I'm on about. I'm on about like touching a board like this, touching a bare hard drive, things like that. I'm on about. So. And not, it sounds, and I'm not talking about grabbing hold of a kettle to put a tea on. That's just being a bit ludicrous, right? Okay, so I'm talking about electronic equipments, laptops, hard drives, iPad, circuit boards and things like that. So the point to note is that if you've been in a vehicle, you come back home, or go back to your workplace, whatever it is, just please make sure you ground yourself. I mean, I use a anti-static mat, which is, I bought this from eBay. I think it was Valet something, the user ID, and I think it was roughly about £29.99, £30, something like that. And what this contains is the full mat. Okay. Then let me just give you a quick tour. So it's the full mat. You can buy them in various sizes. Then is sort of attached onto the end. Okay, and then one wire goes into the mains onto this, if you can see. Okay, that gets grounded, and I think it's got a 1 mega ohm resistor, probably. Oh, there it is, pcvalet.co.uk. This is where I got it from, actually. Yep, absolutely. So so that gets plugged into the mains, and then you have your wristband here, which is there, and that gets sort of, you attach it to your wrist, basically, as simple as that. If you don't have anything like that, the best way around it is just go and grab a metal. So anything that's metal that you can sort of ground, release that discharge, and then maybe you can sort of carry on with doing what you're doing. But I mean, it's a small investment considering that things can go wrong, and it's easy to say, no, it doesn't matter, you don't fucking need this, and you don't need that, and you don't need this, blah blah blah. But the bottom line is, when the shit happens, you realise that, oh, you're a victim of this and that and so on and so forth. So why avoid why not avoid sort of messing something up by sort of taking precautions? And I'm just one of those sort of a person that I will do my extreme best to make sure that I don't fuck things up, and if I do, I will compensate and I will own up to my mistakes, and we're human at the end of the day, so we live and learn, basically. But when you get YouTubers who's got over several hundreds of subscribers, hundred thousands of subscribers, 300, 400, 500,000 subscribers, and they're telling you that, okay, no, fuck it, you don't need a static mat, you don't need to discharge yourself, that sort of, I find it quite absolute annoying, because it is bullshit. It is pure bullshit, basically. Yes, you do need to ground yourself. I mean, I've just given you a reality of what's actually happened. This is my practical experience. You know, it's not something that I'm just coming up with. I have genuinely experienced this matter. So yes, I would strongly recommend having one of these mats. You know, and you know, just take it from there. So that's all. I'm not doing a repair video. This is going to be a bit of a nightmare today, because what I've got to do is I've got to replace these little connectors on the board, which I'm not going to do a repair video for that, unfortunately. Let me just sort of get rid of these. These little connectors have arrived from China. Okay, and the problem we have is some damage on this one. Okay, and some damages, well, more damage on this one. So I've got to replace both of these things. Now the hardest part is that you can't use a hot air station. You've got to use an infrared sort of a system without sort of damage when you're putting the connectors back on. So I can take them off with the hot air station, but to put them back on, unfortunately, I'll have to use a infrared system. So most likely I'm going to have to use my Jovi's upper heater to sort of put them back on, because plastic can very easily deform when you start applying a silly amount of heat, basically. So we're just going to have to sort of deal with that, hopefully. That's all. Hope you found this video helpful, and that's all really. Take care. Bye for now.